coming to you from the kitchen today. Shop's a mess and doing some painting. So if you've been following along on Instagram, I haven't done a whole lot here lately. But I did do some body work here on the number 3 Ratrod. Posted a picture this morning. I did a really heavy coat of filler primer. And this is the stuff I used. I almost used the entire can. I got this stuff at Walmart. It's almost all the way gone. The 3D printed bodies still have a little bit of texture. So I did an extremely thick one coat. I let it dry for a couple days. And I went ahead and sanded it. I used, I think, 600 grit. And then followed that up with 1,000, I believe. I can't remember. I just got my sandpaper drawer is a mess. But it looked pretty good. I went ahead, instead of doing another coat of primer, which was my intention, which I probably should have done. There's still a few little spots that show through some of the bad texture on the cowl. But it looked good enough, so I went ahead and painted it with a Rust-Oleum gloss black because it was the only black that I had left. I forgot my little daily driver pickup. I rattle canned the door black to match the rest of the cab a couple weeks ago, and I used all my flat black paint. So I went ahead and did it the gloss black, and gonna go ahead and wet sand it. Now I've started that here on the hood. You can see it still shows a little bit of texture that's coming out in camera. The lighting in here is terrible, but I'm hoping we can solve that here later. I just wanted to get, it's a little wet, start working on it. I used 1,000 grit and sanded that hood under the sink in my kitchen here. I did go ahead and paint my numbers on. You see I kind of messed this side up. I used for that this satin Rust-Oleum eggshell white, or shell white. That's what I did on the number 2 build. So that's what I went ahead with here. It's kind of a nice off-white. I'm not sure how that number will take to the wet sanding. I'm afraid it might knock more of it down than I want. I want to keep the number on there, obviously. But we'll just have to see. Like I said, I'm doing something different. I'm trying to learn some new ways to do all this. So yeah, this thing's almost dry. I might hit it a little more. We'll just have to see. I figure once I get it, the majority of it looking the way I want, I will do a dull coat. I think I do have some of that left. Running out of paints. I've been doing so many projects lately. But right now I gotta wait on the number to dry. It's only been in here in front of the heater for 30 minutes. So yeah, we'll pick back up sanding the cab down, or wet sanding the cab. Alright guys, so I did another bit of sanding. See some of the edges are showing through. This was the body I had painted red to start with, and oh, now drop it. It's looking pretty good. Still some of the recesses are showing gloss, but nothing I can do about that. So I think this is dry enough. I'm going to go ahead and start wet sanding the body and see what we get. Hopefully don't mess it up too bad. now we wait for that to dry. Got a few edges showing, just like I did on the hood. I think it's going to look pretty cool. Yeah, we just got to wait. In the meantime, I started sanding on this guy. You can see it had those lumps on this side, this 5-window body. I started working on those. It's rinsed it, letting it dry good. Need to towel it off with some tack cloth, and then that one probably go ahead and do another coat of primer. I probably should have done that on this one, like I said, but we'll let it dry here real good and we'll see what we've ended up with. Alright guys, so I did it again. I went ahead and wet sanded it down. Still a few spots, but I'm not worried about it. I did have one issue. I set it too close to the heater and my door over here kind of bulged out. I got it bent back before it cooled too much. Still, it looks like a couple dents and things. The big problem was somehow this side here ended up out further, so the hood didn't line up. So I've been filing on the hood trying to get this side to match with the other, because I do want to mount the hood on permanently to the body, and that's what we're going to do next. I got this stuff at Walmart, JB plastic weld, dries quick. There was 2 different kinds of that. There was one in the paint department and one in the automotive department, and this one was called plastic weld, the other one was called plastic bond. This one actually cures quicker and a higher strength, and it was $2 cheaper than the other one. So if you're looking for something like that, be sure to check all the areas, because you never know. They have 2 things at Walmart in the same place, different prices. I'm going to try to clamp this thing down. This is a 2-part epoxy. I'm going to use the old lid here, the roof that I cut out, and yeah, I'm going to use that to mix it in, and we'll see how this stuff works. So hopefully it's not too messy. Alright guys, so it is dried, the glue. It's been a few days. Trying to get back in the swing of things here. Yeah, the hood's set now, and it will not come off with that plastic weld. So now I'm going to try to do some rust on top of my wet sanding, and hopefully this will hide a few of the glossy spots that didn't wet sand, some of the uneven spots on the body. I didn't even think about this. I mean, obviously this is going to be the number 3 because this is the 3rd one I've built. And I decided just on a whim, because I'm running low on spray paints, to do black, to see how that would work. And yeah, it's Dale Earnhardt, the Intimidator. So I think that's what we'll call this build. This will be the number 3 Ratrod, the Intimidator. So it looks pretty ominous, other than a yellow grill standing out. So I haven't decided yet what I want to do with the grill. I'm not sure if I want to leave the printed bars in it, or if I want to cut it out and use some mesh. I have some other mesh, and we could do some different colors and things as well. So, but yeah, I've got some more of my rust streaks, aka products here. Finally got some more of that online, and I got this new product. Crusted rust deposits from AK, and I'm not sure yet how to use this. It doesn't have anything on here. It has 3 different colors. We've got a dark rust, medium rust, and a light rust. So I'll do a little bit of research on that. I'm going to go ahead and start with the standard rust streaks, like I've done on all of my builds so far, and I'm just going to go over the whole thing and see what we get. I'm not really sure how the black will take, so it's going to be interesting to see. We're just going to learn as we go. needs to dry overnight again. See, it kind of took some of the blackness away from the black, which is good. I'm happy with it so far. The areas that I sanded down a little too far and had primer showing look pretty nice. There's a, not sure if the lighting's letting you see it. There's a couple spots here, a few little spots here. It looks pretty natural. You can see the door gaps and stuff like that kind of popped out, so that's another good side effect as well. Really liking the way it looks so far. I know a lot of y'all are probably wondering, since I haven't done any suspension yet. All we did was build the frame, and we just kind of got it mocked up here. You just kind of, you know, like I always say, you got to follow the build. This one had me in the mood to work on the body, and you know, I wanted to. You just got to do what you're in the mood to do, otherwise it won't turn out very well. So I'm not sure how much further the weathering I'm going to take. I'm kind of happy with how it looks. There's a few streaks here and there that need to be addressed from bad wiping. I haven't had a clean t-shirt in a long time for my weathering process, so it was a little more absorbent than my old one was. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it so far. You can still tell it's black, but it's got that antique tint to it that I like. You know, the old Model Ts, I think there's a saying from Henry Ford, so you can have it in any color as long as it's black. So the black works. Still not sure yet about the suspension. I want to, obviously it's going to be a 4-link and stuff. I've been looking more ahead towards transmission placement and interior, so I'm trying to put the two together so we can make sure we leave room for everything. The suspension will probably be a short 4-link in the rear, since I didn't leave a whole lot of space back there. I don't know. I'm always open to ideas. Could do some type of inverted leaf spring in the back, since it is such a short space. The top of the rail is barely past the tire, so those tires are pretty big. Up front, I've got all kinds of room to play with, so it's looking like I'm going to go with the old RC 4-wheel drive transmission here, mounted this way, and the motor will be high, will clear everything, and my output shaft will be back here, which is nice and low, and I'll make this being an open roof. Not sure if I ever showed anybody. I posted it on Instagram. I've started making a floorboard. It's just some tin I've been folding on and hammering on a little bit, trying to get good edges. It fits nicely in there. I'm not sure yet if I want to hide the rear suspension. I might cut this off here so the rear suspension is exposed. I've seen that a lot in hot rods and rat rods mainly. There will be a tunnel over this. I just made it like this for simplicity. I'm thinking I'm going to braze this to the frame, or weld it to the chassis, and then that way it'll be set and it won't come apart, and then I can cut out and make my transmission tunnel on top of that. I can form another sheet of steel and rivet it or bolt it or something to attach it. But yeah, I'm gonna let this dry and we'll come back and see what we can do next. Alright guys, so this thing is dried overnight. It's looking pretty good. I'm happy with the tint that we got. Really made the black look aged. Let me zoom in for a closer look. Whoa, come on camera. There we go. You can see a little bit of the detail showing through. Liking it so far. Want to try some of these new rust products that I've got here. Now these are AK crusted rust deposits, and I've never used this before. I just happened to run across it online and thought it sounded like something right up my alley. But I'm not just going to start slathering it on the body. I'm going to find something here around the shop and we'll brush it on and kind of get a look at what it does exactly. Alright guys, so I tried this the lightest orangey rusty color on this top piece here, and it says once it dries it creates a real rust texture, but it's hard to tell on this heavily textured piece of 3D printed plastic. I use that one because I don't think that's going to be the right shade of rust for what I want to do anyway. I don't want to waste any of my new stuff, so I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and try some on this smoother section. I'm going to go ahead and do one of the better colors and see if it gives us any kind of effect at all. Alright guys, so I'm not digging that new product. It, you can see here in the center section, it really didn't do anything. It's just like a stain. It's not much different than the regular rust finish. It might have better effects, but I'm not willing to risk trying it on this body yet because I'm happy with how it's coming out so far. So I'm going to go ahead and do what I know. I tend to always fall back to. I'm going to use my pigment binder and what I have left of black pigment, which I am just about out of. There's a little clump in there. So, just trying to accentuate some of the body lines, the gap in the hood, and little details like that with the pigment binder. The pigment binder acts as a dulling agent, so it's like spraying with a dull coat, which I know so many people that do this type of stuff use. I've never tried a spray dull coat. I haven't found one I trust yet. The only thing I have currently in my shop is a high temp engine satin finish, and I'm really not going to spray that over this body. It already has a really nice satin dull sheen to it. So yeah, let me get this set up and start trying to bring out some of the body lines on this thing. Alright guys, so I wiped the black wash down. I thought I was filming, but my camera had other plans. So it's still damp. I'm going to let it dry for a little bit and we'll take a closer look at what it's done. Alright, so here it is. Let me show you a little bit more of a close-up. You can see the finish. I'm really happy with how it came out. That black wash with the pigment binder kind of dulled it down a little bit more than I think it needed. There's still some streaks and marks and stuff, and that's part of the nature of it. It's a Ratrod. It's just pull it out of a field, built it, and went. I do have the grill outside. I primered it real heavy. I've got to sand it down and do the painting on it as well. I think I may just run with the standard grill openings here, like it comes from Nightcrawler's 3D. I don't know yet. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, but yeah, let me see if I can get you a little bit closer look up here of the body. So here you can see some of the detail. We've got some primer showing, got some rust showing, we got the rust finish, the black. It's all just kind of a swirl of things going on. You don't want any continuity with this. That's the key for me with the hot rods, is there's no set way it's going to look. It's all about nature and how it's handled the body over the years out in the fields or in the barns or wherever it's been sitting. So alright guys, so the black wash has dried and I'm pretty happy with it. Lots of ideas of stirring. I think I want to do some type of intake sticking through the hood, since this is going to have the full hood and sides and you're not going to be able to see any engine. It's going to hide all my RC electronics. I think maybe a blower or something cool sticking out of the hood is in order. So thinking about that. I don't have the right piece. I've got some things like this dual single intake here from Nightcrawler's 3D, but that goes with the flathead engine that he sent me. All my other engines are together. So I don't know yet. I think we need something sticking out of the hood just to complete the look. I do have it up off the ground just a little bit. I have jack stands under the front. The next step on this build is going to be suspension. Obviously, we've got to get this thing rolling. Then I've got to start working on the interior, which I showed you earlier. I've got the sheet metal, which I will be rusting once we get it in its final form. Yeah, we gotta figure out how to mount the body to the chassis. Actually, right now it just kind of wedges itself in, fits nice and snug, but it's not gonna be good enough. So suspension first. I do have plans for a full interior. I'm working on some custom seats with awesome designs. He did the 3D printed number 2 cab back there, and me and him are working on some exclusive items that will be available through Shapeways. And I do want to do a rag top on this. I want to make it actually like an open rag top for that open roof. I know I showed you in an Instagram picture, but I don't think I showed in a video. I have started mocking up a roll bar for this as well. These will be slanted back a lot more due to the jump in the frame, but I've got the hoop and the support rods bent. Now I just have to get the floorboards in and figure out how I'm going to mount all that, and then I can braze the roll bar to it and get it all secured as one piece. With these kind of builds, it seems like it's always one or the other. I can have a scale interior or I can have a scale engine compartment. It's hard to have both. The only thing that would allow me to do both would be the RC 4-wheel drive scale V8, which I'm not real happy with at the moment. Just trying to fit some of these new accessories they've come out with, and I've got the version 1, so the coolant filler neck on the intake won't bolt on. And I tried to get some. I got in touch with RC 4-wheel drive and tried to find out if I could buy just the other intake, and I know I can drill some holes and grind it down and make it work. I just thought, I'd rather have it just bolt on like it's supposed to, but I still haven't heard anything back yet. It's been over 2 months now. So kind of giving up on that. But you got to think about this kind of build. Where is your battery going to go? Even if I use a little tiny 2-cell lipo, which I really don't want to use because these builds aren't about driving. These builds are about building. That's what it is for me. So even a little small stick pack from a micro crawler or something, you got to have somewhere to put it. So it always ends up being either interior or engine. It's never both. The number 2 rat rod back there is still not quite finished because I want to try to make more of an interior for it, even though you can't really see it. It's a closed cab, but I really don't have the space. The interior is really just going to be an engine, an ESC, a receiver, and a battery strapped on top. I was hoping to do some kind of faux floorboard and make some seats and stuff for it, but there's really just not the space. So hopefully number 2 gets finished here before too long. All I have to do is throw in a motor, change some connectors on the ESC that Capital Off-Road sent me, which I appreciate. And big shout out to him again. Thanks for helping support the channel. But yeah, that's really all it needs to drive. The fun part's over for me. I've built the chassis. I've weathered the body. That's my favorite things to do. So if you notice, every build I'm doing, I do slightly different. This build here, we made the chassis. We got the axles, the tires and wheels. Went straight to weathering. And we don't have any suspension. We don't have any drivetrain yet. So it's all about the build. You just got to kind of follow it where it takes you. And this build went straight to bodywork. Plus, I wanted to do a kind of a feature on this because this, the channel is kind of supported here by Nightcrawlers 3D. He's been giving me discounts and stuff because I've been helping advertise and bring light to his products that he's printing out. And we just, not making any money. We're just trying to mutually benefit each other. So the number 3 was I've had for the longest, so I figured that would be the next build. I do have that truck cab from Nightcrawlers that I'm thinking about doing a 4-wheel drive rock crawler, rat crawler. But that's still a few builds away. I've got the T-bucket body, which I still have to sort out, figure out what I want to do with that. And I had another one. I've got the resin cast Vicky body, or the Tudor Sedan body from Nightcrawlers, but I don't know, I'm getting ahead of myself again. That's one thing I've been criticized for, is having too many builds going at once, and I can do a few at a time. I got myself kind of backed in a hole here. I've got too many things started. So that's why I'm focusing here on number 3. We're going to go in order. The only thing that will divert me from this build will be getting number 2 running and doing a driving video for y'all on that. I know a lot of people want to see it actually run. I'm starting to. It just, once the excitement of the actual build and the look of it and how it came out is over, now that I've passed that, I'm kind of, well, yeah, that one was cool. Now I want to see it run. It just takes me a little bit longer to get there. I know a lot of folks want to see it from start to finish, but everybody works different, and that's just how I do. So, yeah, that's where I'm at, guys. I appreciate everybody watching. Hopefully we can get back in the swing of things here. I took a couple weeks off just trying to get my life together. Trying to be an adult for a little bit, and that got old, so here we are back in the scale garage. So, yep, appreciate everybody watching. Stay tuned for more. Please like, subscribe, and share. Follow along on Instagram and Facebook. Find me at RCeveryday on both. And I'll see you on the next video.